Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. It's week 5 of the PEC Spring Valorant season, and the Boise State Broncos and the Minnesota Golden Gophers are ready to face off. Much like every other week, it's practically stamped that this is going to be an exciting game. For the casting desk, my name is Zach Munson. Of course, I'm joined by the temporary platinum visitor, Nathaniel Hackney. And Nathaniel, the Broncos have only lost 5 total maps this year in the PEC, and with that, a number that small, you can kind of break down each one for us.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's some that are like more surprising than others. The one that first comes to mind is the Ohio State, where we lost 2 maps because we lost the series to them. And then Utah more recently, we lost 1 map each on each series, ended up winning those. And then Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, we lost to them on 1 map, which is a little bit shocking in my opinion. Because if you look at the standings at least, it's like they're towards the bottom, and you wouldn't expect that just off of the seeding.
But if you look at the round differential.
If you look at the round differential, negative 34 round differential, which is actually better than Syracuse and Kansas, despite being 2 ranks lower than those guys in the seeds. So it's like, I mean, it's kind of...
It's food for thought.
Yes.
Certainly. But before we get too far into that, our teams here at Boise State now have social media profiles that include Valorant. If you want to keep up with all things Boise State Valorant, scan that QR code or follow us at Boise State Val on Instagram and X. You'll get updates, schedules, match results, content, and more. That's Boise State Val on Instagram and X. Show the team some support and love. And last week, we had a crazy game with some crazy moments indeed. Lots of highlights in that one, and it was just a good game. And leading in now, we've got so many wins for the Broncos thus far this season, and they're looking to get another one tonight.
Yeah, it's rather exciting. Here's a clip from the first game.
Crazy on an eco. It's Skelisys' moment for sure. I mean, not only is this such a crazy clip with all of those kills, Skelisys looking to get the ace, but look at the support and the teamwork here. He's got Skies throwing him the rifle, trying to get him every opportunity he can, drawing the crosshair even. These are the little micro team plays that they help and they build morale. I mean, of course, gets the team laughing, feeling good after that, and this is a good play as well. Of course, the man Prestige able to close out on a crazy flank here. Yeah,
I mean, if I had like a $1 for every time Prestige closes out a series on a flank and gets 3, I believe I have $4 right now.
That's a lot of money.
If I have
like that.
Yeah, and if I also had $1 for how many times he played, it's 4 times, I think. So it's like every
like
time.
Close out the map every time he's in.
Yeah.
But with that match shaping the standings, it's looking pretty top-heavy now. Boise State is looking to secure that first-place seed on a Week 7 collision course. Second place, Ohio State trails them. The Broncos had a Week 0 game against Nebraska, and the Buckeyes are going to get a chance to catch up with some later season games. Michigan State holding 3rd place with Utah in 4th, threatening a run for top 3. And we've got some action this week for sure. Nebraska looking to punch to the heavens against Ohio State here. Utah looking to hold ground against Syracuse. Baylor's going to try to make a name for themselves against Kansas, and Michigan State enjoying a nice bye round. And our featured matchup for this broadcast will be the Broncos versus the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, and a rather exciting matchup as well. But first, our rosters. We have Skelisys, Master, Prestige, Daimyo, Kaz, and Skies playing. And I believe it's Prestige is in, and
for the first map, Skies will be out. That'll be the 5-person lineup. Interesting chance to just get everyone different reps and try out different looks, of course. And Minnesota's had a lot of different kind of lineups throughout the season so far, and they've been able to get decent success with most of them. And this is, of course, who they've got today. Shambo sticks out to me as a player you always got to watch out for on this team.
Yeah, I mean, this team, they have like, what, 10 players registered, 9, and they always are cycling them in, so you never exactly know what is in store.
And that can be, I mean, it can be difficult, obviously, but it can be kind of good because obviously these teams with this much care and this much effort and preparation like, it's kind of hard to prepare for something like that. So you never really know what you're going to get. But I just like to mention, kind of going along with what I was saying about the chance to get different looks and the chance to try out different players in different roles. That's super valuable, but a very important thing is making sure that each round is important and it's practice, and you know what else is important.
Docs, keys to the game.
As always, in Valorant, know your win condition. Never ego peek the operator. Know your win condition. Again, you better know it. That's a reminder.
And get your
take
one.
Out your one. And those, of course, are brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.net. And there's a lot of energy in this building. I can feel how the players are feeling. Crowds ready, crowds engaged. And kind of as I was mentioning a little bit earlier about just making sure that each round is productive. That's something, of course, I come from a bit of an Overwatch background. So to me, it's like when we're playing the game, the coaches are always like, hey, focus next fight. I know you're feeling good right now, or I know you're feeling bad right now, but just next fight. We need to improve no matter what. And it's very similar for Valorant. You can kind of get into, not a rut necessarily, but if you're winning, a lot of the time you stop playing how you should and you start playing like as much as you can get away with. And a lot of the time that if you're off your game plan, you're not really practicing. It gets a little bit less productive. So it's important everybody, of course, stays locked in and make sure that nothing slips to a scary-looking Minnesota team.
Yeah, and I would say of all days to like maybe goof off on a few rounds, this would probably be the day you would do it because it's the highlighted home game.
You would feel it. There's people here, like you're trying to show off for the crowd. So it's definitely more factors involved, but it's important to stay focused, get wins, and get that round differential as high as possible if you can. And I think if I'm not mistaken, we're headed to Haven first, I think.
Yeah, that's what we've heard, which means somebody's on Killjoy duty.
And the fact Prestige is in most likely makes me think it's him, but normally him and Daimyo don't play on this map together, so a different bit of a roster look than we might get. Minnesota, of course, on attack first, and I think the Broncos were pretty happy with that as we saw that first clip from last match. They were on defense. They were running up the score, but Band's also interesting to me. I kind of expected to see Bind. It's one of those maps that everybody is okay with playing. Everybody wants to play Bind, but Minnesota, knowing the Broncos are kind of untouchable on that map, they're just opting to get rid of it entirely.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Too.
Yeah, the Breeze is a very interesting pick. I think we've only seen it maybe once.
The unfortunate thing for the Golden Gophers, though, is if you take out Bind, instead you're choosing Corrode, which
is, once again,
it's out of the frying pan, perhaps.
Statistically, the best map.
It statistically is. I mean, the players would tell you Bind is probably a little bit better, but still, I think Corrode is, I mean, they're not to be messed with on that map either, so kind of do want to see Breeze, but interesting if we're able to get there. It would mean that Minnesota were able to take a map. And I don't know, what do you think the key is going to be to them for this one?
For Minnesota? Well, they're on attack every round, or like starting, which means they're going to get to set the tempo for every game. And something that is different between like other collegiate teams that I've watched is Boise State on defense on Haven. They like to take a long space and just kind of all the space that they can get.
Yeah.
Just very much so take everything in the most greedy way and then win the round through that.
I have an interesting thing as well, but though I don't know if it's going to be different just because of the players they have, but normally, like you said, they take space with 2 or 3 and they leave one site with 1 player. Normally it's that A site, they just leave Daimyo there on the Killjoy, and that's something that could potentially be taken advantage of unless Daimyo is like just spinning on site, hitting every single shot and holding it down on his own. It could be it's difficult, and those are kind of how you get a lot of rounds in a row on those maps like Haven, those 3-site maps, is when you can get those pushes and you can get the spike down early. Retaking is hard on those maps.
Yeah, Haven retakes are like 5 people all know one lineup and they throw it out at the same time, and then the site explodes and one team wins.
Well, like A site?
Yes, A site.
Ooh, I might have to make a ranking at some point, but that might be top 3 hardest sites to retake in the game. Haven A site.
You really have nowhere to go other than CT.
Yeah, you're going to jump out of the window. You're going to just run through CT. The flanks potentially are good, but yeah, I mean, the way to prevent all of that from it happening in the first place.
Just hold it.
Just hold the site. So if, like you said, Minnesota are able to set the tempo, like that's going to be good, but it's difficult, especially probably for them mentally going into a game like this. I mean, they see the standings. They know that the Broncos are 12-1. They've seen the games. They know their record. Like, you want to start slow and you want to make sure you're not giving anything up, but a lot of the time that's kind of playing into what the quote-unquote better mechanical team wants you to do. They want you to just take 1v1, so
and
I don't know how they're going to choose to play it.
So we mentioned Skies isn't playing.
At least in the first one.
On Haven.
Yes.
Ooh. And something that you may know about that means the guy who's usually Garage is not Garage. Especially every single round, or every single anti-eco round, Skies is in Garage with a Bucky or a Judge.
True. Well, I mean, he'll even play there just
for the love of the game.
Yeah.
But
or door, sorry.
It does mean that, like, if Minnesota knows this, that might be something that's abusable on perhaps the second round.
But what's also even a layer deeper than that, though, is when you're playing with lots of different players kind of cycling through the roster, you almost don't have as much time to kind of focus on those minute little things like habits of the other team. You're more focused on, like, what your team can do. So just that's kind of a benefit of what the Broncos are doing of – like, they've had so much time to work on the vibes and so much time to try out these different allowances. They have time to think about stuff like that. They don't have to worry about just who's going to play on this map. You know, like, that's not even really a problem. Like, whoever they've got, they feel good about it.
Yeah, I suppose that is something to keep in mind for sure. And also, who's to say, like, Daimyo can't just solo hold Garage instead of
He's done
A
it
site.
A lot. You mean,
we've
I always say that, but, like, the fact that they keep doing it, you know, like, if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. So it's like, it's something that potentially could be punished. But when you take that much space, though, like, you have the ability to rotate quickly and stuff like that. So it's not just one guy under all that pressure. Because if you walk out C and see nobody, okay, your C players can go to A and go reinforce it because you have that area. So at the end of the day, comes down to hitting your shots.
Sure.
Finally, we get into this draft, ready to go. And whoa, Radiohead Enjoyer is also a veto enjoyer.
On a very interesting pick.
Not something you see often at all. And I actually I don't know if I really like it. There's not a lot of, like, suppressible utility from the Broncos side with this composition.
But something about veto is, I mean, play Yoru if you want this, but it makes it a lot easier to rotate, especially on this
Haven.
Yes, on this map. There's a bunch of times where it's like, I want to get and help out my teammate, but I have to do this giant
like
U-shaped turn.
imagine you're backside C and you want to help Garage, right?
Yeah,
it's like you got to run all the way over, but that TP
Vito just TPs and he's helping out the team.
Things quick, and I really do like how different these compositions are. A lot of the time you see very, very similar ones, but really the only things looking to be shared are the Sova and the Viper. Typical lineup with Prestige on the Jet instead of Skies on the Neon. Very interesting. I mean, I would have imagined you would have Prestige on the Killjoy, Daimyo on the Jet, but this is how they're feeling this game. I don't even know how this is going to work out on the attack. It seems like we were talking about that tempo and the ability to push quickly, but I don't even think their composition's really suited for that at all.
Yeah, usually Neon can take the space really fast, but there's not much util that can help her. You would need, like, a breach or something.
These first couple rounds are going to be very important, but we get into map 1, Boise State versus Minnesota. Boise State, of course, looking to get their standings up, and Minnesota looking to punch high. As we get into map 1 here, Minnesota attacking, and the Broncos looking to set the tone.
And we'll just see exactly what tone is set. It's going to be very different, I feel, from what we usually see here.
Oh, I'm trying so hard to not talk about pistol rounds again. I just feel like I've dragged it a little bit too much at this point. Every time we're loading in, I want to talk about the pistols. But it is important. It is very important. But I don't know. I think they're going to get aggressive here. The Broncos.
You think the Broncos?
I think they might run out mid. I would be expecting something like that.
I think Prestige might be buying a Bandit or a Sheriff.
I was wrong.
Oh, I was wrong as well. I guess we're both just liars.
They're really switching it up. I like this a lot, though. Depends, actually, depending on how hard the Golden Gophers choose to push this A site once again. Kind of what we mentioned, Daimyo is all alone, looking to hold this site. Master taking this mid space makes things a little bit easier, and the reinforcement's already here. He's not alone anymore. Daimyo turret gives him good contact swing, a little bit of damage, but not too much to speak of. Crossfire held. They're going to be looking at Daimyo, giving Skelesis a chance, but they don't even really want to test it. Golden Gophers instead backing out a little, and that advantage they had is now kind of dissipated. Mid-space still being held by Prestige. Oh, but he walks away maybe at the wrong time. Still, the Golden Gophers taking their time.
Yeah, and they use that Sova drone in mid, which means the site hit's going to be a lot harder. You're down 400 credits against your opponent, which on pistol is half of your economy.
Oh, but they might have found the weak point.
Oh.
Garage, the one thing not really being watched, but Cause has to double up on angles. Has to watch main and garage at the same time. It's a lot to ask for, but he is certainly up to the task, holding strong. Smoke comes through. They're starting to run through. Zephyr gets the information and now Causes in trouble. Util comes through, but nothing really hits him. He's still backside and has a chance. What a shot from Cause. Quickly traded as the rest of the team now floods in. All of them pretty much flanking. And swing, comes through quick, plant, gets off of it some, only has 10 seconds, 8 seconds now, planning for CT, but all the Broncos falling, only Skelesis 13 HP to fight the Armada. All the Gophers stacked up, ready to shoot as soon as Skelesis reveals himself, but there's not too much to be done. Looking for anything he can and just has to peek as the Golden Gophers pick up that pistol in convincing fashion.
And yeah, I mean, very well played by them, might I add.
It seemed like they want to prove me wrong, because I was saying, like, they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't take it slow, but they made the right call. Great mid-round call from them to go in the weak place, and it was a perfect C-split.
Yeah, something about this map is if the enemies aren't showing mid, that means A is probably double stacked. And Minnesota just took that gamble and was like, let's just take it C. A seems like the strong side because they're not showing mid.
Well, in making a read like that, it's really great because now it changes the way that the Broncos have to respond. They can't just rotate through spawn because they don't know necessarily that presence means the push is going there.
Yeah, it's going to make the Broncos maybe double check their thinking a little bit. That Sova drone comes out the same way again, finding a little bit of information for Minnesota. And then they slow it down once more.
Once again, they look to be making the right play. But they do have to deal with Daimyo in the corner. Bandit is a one-shot headshot from this range. But I don't even know if they're going to go his way. Surely someone has to go down short. And the fact that so many aren't might make this bad for the Gophers, because Daimyo could potentially get one or two, and then the team is split. It's only one going towards short. They don't realize how much trouble they could be in with the flank already here. Daimyo waiting, biding his time. Master walking out. Turret gets contact. Skelesis is the one to get the shot. That's a gun given over. A Spectre for Daimyo has a chance from behind. Gets the first. Reloads. And now potentially on deck. Two more. Spray goes through. Finds another, and Spike now down. Daimyo backs out. And he's getting peeked. Some trying to test it, but 13 seconds left. They have to run. What a peek from Daimyo, but into the dark. That quickly trades him. Spike might just be able to go down B, and it's only now Master. But he could get a little bit of an upgrade in weaponry here.
Looking to get maybe a Spectre, and that's going to raise the odds of winning this round up quite a bit. One kill and a pick-me-up, and all of a sudden, I would argue that it's on the side of Master here to win this.
Oh, it all depends on if Sum is ready to hold. Oh, but the head spotted. Such good information. Swings, but Sum delivers on the kill. Still a lot of damage for the Broncos, but the Golden Gophers get up to 2.
And I want to just talk about the adaptation. I mean, it shows it right here. Minnesota played super slow in that first round. The second round, the Broncos just expect that slow play and are instantly slow walking up everywhere, controlling all of the space that's given to them. And it almost cost Minnesota the round there.
Yeah, I would say if they didn't just have classics there, that was probably a lost round. But they were able to recover well. And some still holding on to a Vandal now. Could potentially do a lot of damage. Dart comes through. Skelis is holding a pixel angle, dodges the dart. They're not going to expect him here. Radiohead Enjoyer TP's out, but his arm is spotted. Damage found, but Skelis doesn't really want to try it too much. Instead, will take the 60 damage and back off. But Master won't. Master's walking through. He loves this angle. Head spotted, but he can't find it and now has to run before the trade comes through. He does. Things are just playing out so scary here. A bunch of players almost spotted Prestige. Ooh, good scout on the angle. Takes down some. That's the Vandal, though. Very easily retrievable for the Golden Gophers, and they still haven't really made a lot of progress.
And their time is getting low, I would say. It's been 30 seconds and nothing, really no space has been made.
Garage is not where you want to go either. Prestige and Master. Crossfire held off Prestige's contact. Master might jump through this. And out he goes. He might not even be needed. Instead, delivers the kill as Kaz cleans it out. A flawless round right back as Vandals get on the board. The silencer delivered by Kaz.
If you asked why was it a flawless round, I think the naive answer is they clicked their heads. But looking a little bit closer, the Broncos are only playing long angles. They know that the enemies have these terrible weapons, so they're playing the furthest angles possible. The only place where they're playing close is Garage because the game forces them to play close, and they're doubled up there on a crossfire.
Skelis is scared off the entire A push just by himself.
With
so that's
one headshot.
A third of the map already taken out, and Prestige maybe doing his best Master impersonation, taking this aggressive peek. They love it so much, and just into the smoke. He has no fear. So quick up here, they would never expect it, but Master's going to be the one to be tested instead. In the corner, taken down, but they would never expect Prestige here. Gets the first, but now how does he escape? Oh, Zephyr able to get the spray. A difficult kill, but there's still 3 left, and Kaz might be the one to get scouted. The drone dies, and Daimyo has a timing. Is he going to do the exact same play that Kaz just did? Thinking about it, walks out. So sketchy. And look who it is. It's in towards Skelis. He's gotten so much space. The first. Oh, but he can't quite spray the second down. Some quickly trades, and now it's a 2v3, but they're not both coming from the same angle here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because Minnesota doesn't know exactly where the Broncos
they have
are.
No trips.
Yes. Snakebite comes through and denies that plant. Not quite.
Goes down, but that's half health taken away from some. But it's still such a difficult round. Daimyo is going to have to be the one to do it. Oh, the first almost found on a Zephyr immediately. An aggressive peek. Kaz trying to draw the cross there, but just gets the kill instead. And walks out though, Daimyo. 2 to contend with. Backside, he's going to get pinged, but he knows where both are now. Zephyr found, transfer, the second, some, solo, dart, shocks, he's down to 4 health. Can he deliver on the kill? Classic comes out, right click, can't find it. Some, right click of his own, gets the Golden Gophers up to 3 now.
I don't know if a round could have been closer.
Wow.
Man.
6 already for some. What a play. I mean, he played that literally perfectly with the util and the wide swing at the end. I don't think a lot of players would have the kind of confidence to do something like that, knowing that he's risking everything to throw off the crosshair.
And also, he didn't throw a second shock dart because he wasn't certain because Daimyo didn't tap immediately.
Again, util traded towards A. Not really a lot to be found though. Once again, just shooting credits into the void. As the Owl drone comes out so early mid, and I don't even really know what it expects to find. Doesn't get anything. Prestige is now allowed to walk into this spot. Control a really nice angle. It might be towards B. Dart comes through and hits the alarm bot. But Daimyo is unmoved. Walks through his own molly, and it works! Gets one and out!
What a creative play!
I've never seen that. I've never seen that play before. That was so smart by Daimyo. And that's just one kill, gets out, nothing traded.
And it only cost him 200 credits. That was it.
And once again, They look to test Skelis' same sort of angle, a little bit different though. They might not expect him here. They think they've cleared it all out, but instead Daimyo repositions and the trade, the second player not expected, only 2 left now. Zephyr and Henry. Henry gets a nice little shot there, but they have to get the spike. Sliding in, Skelis is not stunned, unmoved, able to retreat and get into a better spot. Henry trying to up the tempo, but there's not much time left as the flank comes through. Master, flick onto the first, he knows the second is there. Zephyr trying to do anything he can, but Prestige takes him down and gets the Broncos their second.
Wow. These fast pushes up into A long. And then also this swing.
Wow, I mean,
oh my.
because I mean, from the Golden Gophers' perspective, they think like
that's a defensive.
to them that means he's doing that so that they can't walk in, not that he's gonna walk out. What?
Yeah, no, that's just a crazy play. Here's this circle that you guys can't push through. I'm gonna push through it.
Yeah,
And
being
it
able
just
to think of that in the moment and having it work it's just so different. Just so smart. And again towards mid. Trying to go in quick. Henry getting a little bit of info, but Daimyo repositioned. They're not going to expect him here. He's able to get out. Just walks away from the paranoia. And again, that's a lot of util. Henry did get in the corner though. Daimyo, just takes him right out of commission. All that space has now been lost once again, but A site is open. Golden Gophers though not really expecting no presence at all. They're kind of unwilling to walk up quite yet.
Yeah, they don't believe that it's a free site.
They're just playing retake with the lockdown.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And the Sova utility will be back up by the time they plant.
But it could be dangerous though, because if they get the lockdown, if it's traded for Hunter's Fury, it's still a 4v5 retake on what I said is one of the most difficult sites in the game. So they might have to get some kills ahead of it. Lockdown coming down, Prestige ready to go off of it. And I think the Golden Gophers are too. They want to push. Smoke comes through, but it's not to be found. Master and Prestige, one apiece, swinging through the smoke, but some dangerous in it. As the Killjoy ult pops, there can only be one place for Zephyr to exist. Getting ran down, Daimyo jumps in as they all walk him down, and the Broncos get up to 3 and even the score.
Oh, man. And I'm going to say it again. There was a lovely play by Daimyo there. Once again with the nano swarms. So in garage, he had the swarm grenade down, and then he hears the neon running in, and you can see he's thinking about popping the molly, and he just doesn't. He waits until the paranoia. He wants them to force it out. Like, he's not just going to pop the molly for free, and that saved his life, because then the paranoia came through, and he would have died elsewise.
The only thing now is 5 ultimates are online for Minnesota. They're not exactly the strongest in the game, at least a few of them aren't, but with 5, I mean, what more could you really ask for? They want the A push, 3 players all stacked up, but Radiohead Enjoyer might peek right into it. Bullets come through, they TP's out, he doesn't know that there's 2 players up. I mean, why would he? They've never done this before. Round 6, they bring out the new strategy and it works perfectly. And they've still got 2 players elsewhere. C's not even as open as they might think. Smoke comes through, Henry wants to run out, Sammy as well. They get it, but Cause is ready. Walking back, could control C site, but instead chooses to double up with Daimyo. Peeks into the smoke with a shorty. This is going to go down in about a couple seconds. Henry's going to be available. Hides in the corner. There's 2 players right there. They actually re-smoke it. And Cause and Daimyo biding their time, waiting for the info, but they're being held by some. Drone comes through as well as the overdrive. 4 players now on C. Daimyo, they're not going to expect him here. His flank is so fast, but Zephyr adjusts in time. Master now trying to go from CT. Good snake bite buys him space. as well as the smoke. They're allowed to get out on site here. This is really great. Dart not shot in time though. Ping comes through, 8 HP on Master, and it's so difficult to get into the Viper's pit. Prestige just jumps in headlong, trying to find a right click into Garage, onto one. Oh, but he can't quite hit it. The duck! Sammy ducks from the ult, but Master trades it still in the Viper's pit. They have to get on the spike soon. Zephyr now goes. Cause hits the shot. Hunter's Fury gets him off the spike. Prestige trying to stick. Slide comes through, but Cause is holding it down. But he's out of bullets. He's out of bullets, but jumping in. Prestige sticks it and wins. Prestige has won the round, sticking it in all the chaos. Cause the distraction. And the Broncos get up to 4.
That was 5 ultimates used by Minnesota.
And they didn't win.
And I would argue it's because of how slow they're going. Did you see? So first, the Veto dies because they were able to, Broncos were just able to take the space, right? Then Daimyo disconnects from the game in Garage and comes back before they plant. That's crazy how slow they're pushing. And then they're not able to win the round.
Wow. 5 ultimates and they couldn't get it. The Hunter's Fury and the Viper's Pit. Those are both ults that should win you the round. And a combination couldn't even get it. Master spotted, but he's out of there. They're not going to be able to punish him for that. Not yet. Skelis, this Owl drone of his own, is going to find one. Of course, Radiohead Enjoyer TPs, but TPing that early just gives away his exact spot. Prestige through the smoke. Oh, but right back through the smoke, traded out. Trying to play up top, I think. But a 4v4. Still Minnesota not accelerating quite yet.
Yeah, I think they're looking for one more as they slowly walk in that garage space trying to find something.
They're going back towards Skelis. Surely they've got to expect this. He's played this angle before, but do they know? I mean, there's just so much to scout, but they're not making noise. Skelis would want to swing ahead of this a little. He's in a very, very predictable corner. Could be peek quick, but instead he peeks with the back. Sammy now gives him a chance. Skelis is swinging out a little bit. The util makes him so low, and some plays it perfectly. But Daimyo behind Radiohead Enjoyer, not going to expect this one, and taken right down. Now 2v2, and they're quick here for the retake. Plant coming down, but the snake bite buys enough time.
Notably, the Broncos do have the Viper's Pit. I don't know if
they choose to play this through Heaven, though.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out here.
Oh, but Sum's in such a default angle, they're just going to see him and take him down immediately. In hell, though. Oh, what a shot from Cause. Zephyr could not adjust. Cause, Viper versus Viper. 1 versus 1, and he gets the round.
Oh, my. Cause has gotten quite a few kills this game. Just jumping like in heaven and then just hitting a headshot.
Well, and even then, I would still say the way that played out, that was even like still a little sketchy because like
they didn't drop
Zephyr
at the exact same
Zephyr
time.
Might have been able to hit that if Cause, of course, wasn't Cause, but in the reality we live in, that's a round, and that's still the only ultimate available for either team is Cause's Viper's Pit.
Yeah, and that's why you keep seeing the Shorty purchased by him, is because Viper's Pit plus Shorty is just free kills.
Operator now from Prestige as well. Hadn't seen it come out before, but it's holding towards short. Interestingly enough, it's double stacked with Daimyo. Normally you don't put the Operator in a double stack because, frankly, it doesn't really need it, but the high-low looking so attractive. Trying to deal with that turret mid. Sammy isn't able to get it. And is
Not
just
sure where it is.
pre-firing common angles. The gun disadvantage, if they were playing slow before with the disadvantage, they're certainly playing even slower now.
And it's just so difficult for them that they just keep getting stuck on these chokeholds, and Minnesota's going to have a rough time.
Oh,
their util is running low as well, I feel.
They made enough noise to try and draw some players towards C, including that fast lane, but at the end of the day, they're walking into Prestige. 3 players are going to test the Operator, and it's holding so perfectly first. Ooh, but what a jiggle peek. But Updraft dodges it. Repeat. Updraft dodges the paranoia, and Prestige is still backside, still making things happen. Peek comes through, though, and Sammy backside through the smoke, gets 2. Skelesis retreating and regrouping. A wise play now as down a player, but they do have better weapons, or at least not the operator. Sammy, good for 3, has taken over, but the flank is here! Master's here on the flank! 1v2 now remains for Skelesis, and with the shock dart, out he goes! Skelesis chomps out, but Sammy is so quick for a thrifty round, and truly Sammy saved that round 4 times.
Yeah.
So, wow, I mean, that was even really well played by the Broncos, but Sammy gets the timing back sight, able to pick up the operator, and those are not easy shots. So
no.
Wow.
And the timing at which Sammy shot, like, Prestige was lining up like a collateral kill on both of his teammates, and then he gets taken out from the side.
Really,
it could
really
not
well
have been
played.
closer.
And, I mean, you're starting to see why this Minnesota team is so dangerous. Even when they're disadvantaged in these rounds, it's not something you can get. I think Skelesis getting hit by that dart's actually good because they see him running back to site, and now Master's able to take this position. But still, I mean, it's going to be a while till anything's truly given. Actually, Prestige just barely. I think he saw an arm there. Bandit's going to be good here if they push onto site. This is Bandit effective range. Ooh, sees another arm. A little bit of damage through the wall, but it's instead probably going to be onto Daimyo and Cause on this C site. Daimyo hiding behind the box. I don't think anyone's picked a hold there yet. Could be unexpected, but instead chooses to regroup. And Master, early smoke, tries to get around the trip, but it hits him, and they're waiting for him. He thought he had a perfect flank, but they were walking right back to him. And now with that kill, they go the other side. They draw the rotates toward A and leave. I really like this mid-rounding.
Yeah, I mean, they're making the correct call once again.
Look who they're peeking into. Cause has the angle, and he has a Marshall. Head height. It's literally perfect, but he can't quite land the shot. Snakebite has to come out to buy some time. He is under so much pressure. Dodges the util. A second chance. Potentially, the team is here, and Daimyo saves his life. A rifle now taken. Daimyo full health. Ooh, but the teleport comes through. Sammy teleports backside. It's traded by Cause, and all the players end up falling. The weapon disadvantage too much to overcome as the Golden Gophers even up the score.
And they have the Hunter's Fury online, which, like we've said, is a win condition. If you play it right, the Hunter's Fury can easily win you a round. And especially with how close the timers have been getting, both in the retakes and just in the normal mid-rounding, its value skyrockets.
Cause is going to have to use this soon.
Yeah, that
He's
Viper's Pit has been
holding on to the
held.
Viper's Pit for quite a while. I mean, of course, now you don't have time to get another, but only 2 more potential rounds to even let it fly. Skelesis has been holding this spot so well, but with the Sheriff, it's difficult. Good movement allows him to not get killed. But it's going to be hard to even take space. Sammy holding as well. It's a high-low. But still, I mean, looks like it's going to test it. Jumps out, and Daimyo gets a perfect trade. Skelesis draws the crosshair. That's probably about what they wanted from that play. Their player with the Sheriff is the one to fall, so not even that bad. And Cause has walked up so far. Seems like at least one Bronco does this on Haven defense at least one time every map. You see it, and it's a question of whether it'll get value or not. Master,
I've seen this before.
Takes a timing of his own, but it looks like Minnesota's thinking about A, starting to regroup and start scaling. It might not be the right call. Prestige is already there. They've waited so long, though, that they don't really have time to make another decision. They're going to have to start moving. It might be a 2v3 fake smoke towards Garage. Tries to draw a little bit of attention, but it doesn't do anything. None of the Broncos faltering even for a second. 2 versus 3 on A. Prestige holding high. Daimyo's ready. Recalls the bot to save it. Prestige is smoked off. It's all onto Daimyo for now. He gets the first. Master on the other side of the map. And Daimyo dodges the operator shot with the spike. Still able to come down as they reposition towards backside some. Trying to swing and actually gets it. Can't get the second though because Prestige is there. But look who it is. Operator Sammy sprayed through the smoke. Cloudburst cuts him off. Onto the spike goes Prestige, and it's only one player remaining. Master swinging through, and he gets it as the Broncos get up to 6.
And the Broncos took so much space there. They realized that kind of everybody was playing in A lobby, and just immediately all of mid is controlled, all of C is controlled. And then you just have Daimyo solo holding the site because it's Daimyo.
The flanks would have been there eventually, but
yes.
if Daimyo doesn't get that first one onto Henry, I mean,
things are
Prestige
looking dire.
then can't jump onto site, like, really just broke it all open. And now, look, they have every ult if Skelesis, and look, they're setting them up too. They want that ult orb.
They're grabbing that ult orb.
He's getting escorted out by Master to hold. Once he gets this orb, it'll now be every ult. Cause, tired of holding it, hits. I really like that ult. He hit it again. He has a little lineup. It covers both B site and garage. Just cuts off half the map. That's so much valuable space taken. And that's still 4 more ultimates to go.
Yeah, that ultimate is so nice. Both players can play off of it and control so much space. And Prestige on the op here, there's really like only C is where they can go.
Well, they're
that
trying
drone's
to
coming
just go through the pit, yeah. And I guess they do. Drone clears it out. Henry gets through the pit and Daimyo's smoked. He wants to jump, but it's not really good. Has to hit the lockdown instead. That's really good though. And he's just going to hold towards it. Master back sight. Ooh, Skelesis gets caught though. Henry as well. Not dead yet. Utilize everything being hit. Daimyo or Master has a chance. Gets one. But still 2v4 at the end of the day. After the dust settles. All the ultimates used. And still they have to win this one at a disadvantage. Cause has such great timing out backside. I don't think they think that he's here yet. He has so much space and they're starting to line up. Cause sneaking out 1v4. Can he do it? The first is not able to be found, and still the Golden Gophers hang on to an even scoreline going into the half.
Switching sides.
Second half, even scoreline.
Before we get too much into that, today's stream has been brought to you in part by local dairy farmers and the dairy protein they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to next-level fueling options that keep our players playing at their peak. Unbottled, dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more info.
Shout out to them. And soon there'll be a play of a game.
Oh, it's surely coming soon, but look at this. It's interesting. Just this scoreline in general. Broncos very even across the board, but truly I think at least on that attack, that mid-rounding was just really something
very
else.
Nice.
I haven't seen mid-rounding that good in a while. Just genuinely making the right play more often than not, but still an even game to show for it.
Yeah, they definitely were, like we always say, oh, not many teams can outthink the Broncos, but I want to say that might be an example of
at least how you might go about it.
Yeah,
Some really far on that peak. I didn't think he was going to peak again. He loses 50 HP for it, but the reinforcements are already here, and this is probably, I think this is what the Golden Gophers wanted the Broncos to do.
Yeah.
Just look at this. All the rotates come through, and now whole team funnels through spawn over to C-site, but Daimyo might be the sacrificial lamb, but the snake bite misses, and he gets to leave for free. A heartbreaker. Maybe wishing they had that one back, as now C-site completely open, and Daimyo has a great late flank. Oh, and this is the God plant too.
Oh,
but the util's
so
too
much
fast.
utility.
They didn't get the plant, but Kaz still backside gets 3
Whoa.
players alone. Kaz does it all, and it's only 1 player left, Some, and he's not even full HP, getting ran down by the full might of the Broncos. They get it and get the pistol round easily.
And as I was going to say, that pistol round is so important, especially in an even game. It's twice as important as the last pistol was.
Well, if they lose that one, you're starting to feel it a little bit.
6-8, things are looking a little dicey.
But now they've got a chance to show that maybe they were just a little bit off on their defense, because as we know, Broncos love to run up the score on the second half, if that is anything they like to do. So looking to do that now. Good guns already. Master opts for the Phantom. Normally you see a Spectre, a Guardian, like what's in the hands of Prestige, but Master is feeling it. Outlaw for Daimyo, holding towards C. This is a great angle to hold. just cuts off so much space on the map, and it might get rewarded with a peek soon. Looks like Radiohead Enjoyer is getting a little bit antsy. Instead, it's towards B, and this might be the right play. With all the A space taken, oh, they hear the Neon running back. They hear him giving up all the A space, so now they walk. Looks like they want to. Instead, Zephyr Snakebite buys some time and actually back to the drawing board for this push.
And walking into Garage always seems a little bit dangerous when you know the enemies could have shorties and frenzies. The Prestige and Master are ready to go in regardless.
Vito is the only one holding. It's Radiohead Enjoyer in the smoke too, tries to come out backside, but Daimyo actually misses his shots, buys him an extra second, and in the smoke, Radiohead Enjoyer lives for so long but can't get a kill. Instead, it's Sammy the other way, but Prestige, backside Guardian is singing. Only one player left, Sammy, half HP in Garage. Master makes it even lower than that, and Prestige is the one to find the kill. 8-6 now, I think the largest lead for the Broncos this map.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It wasn't.
No.
Well, yeah, they were up 3
It was
at
the
some
same.
point. So, looking to get their biggest lead of the night, and that would be a way to do it. They didn't lose any of those expensive guns that they had bought.
Yeah, having the, what is it, a Phantom, a Guardian, and like a
Outlaw.
Bulldog,
They
and
still
an
got an Outlaw.
Yeah, so those are definitely more expensive guns. And I saw one player went Sheriff Light Shield, which means they effectively lost nothing because they have the other guns already.
Well,
so
that's something that we've seen Boise State do a lot on the eco rounds, is just focusing like the fights towards a couple players on purpose. You just have a couple guys who are buying Ghost, Bandit, just don't have them take the fights, or if you do, have them kind of make space, draw crosshairs, stuff like that, and then keep the rifles in the hands, make sure they don't get away from you. And it takes a good team to be able to do that.
And something that you also might notice is the rifles are on the people who have like 2 or 3 ult points, because then you can build an early ult and then win an early round. So,
Talking about ults, if you think Kaz got a, 3 or 4 on that first round,
Yes.
as well as if they're funneling those orbs, you could potentially get quite a few Viper's Pits already in this map.
yeah, look, 6 on Cause. That's exactly what they were playing for. And the Viper's Pit, on defense, not so much, but on attack, it's basically a free round if you get the plant off.
So difficult to play into it. And look at all this space for Daimyo. Like, imagine how, or think about how difficult it was for the Golden Gophers to get that space, and Daimyo just walks up with an Outlaw and hits the shot!
And that's a rifle down for them.
What a flick! Does he expect a high player, though? I don't think so. Has to take the gamble. I don't blame him for that. Double towards B, though, means C's open, so his death will grant good information for the rest of the team. And Prestige, a crazy timing. Here's the joke. ACP, what?
Oh!
What a shot from Prestige with the dash, a little flourish on top. Now makes it a 2v3. Plant comes down, and look who's backside. This position has been practically a pot of gold for the Broncos. Anyone who plays there is practically guaranteed to get some kills, and no util, they're gonna have to swing through Master. I don't think they would ever expect this angle. Just playing in the middle of the open, they would have to hit the flick, and Snakebite comes through right as the smoke drops, but has to fall off as Cause with the flank, and Prestige, the final kill, gets it. A little exclamation point for a great round for the Broncos as they ruin the Golden Gophers' economy with that one.
Yeah, you never want to be losing that 3rd round, because now you can't buy for another.
Wow, I think Prestige might have looked like prep real vision. He saw that flick, that Daimyo hit, and he's like, I might need to one-up you here this round.
Oh, yeah.
with a flick of my own.
He was watching his monitor.
What a beautiful shot. And that's, yeah, like, well, I mean, as we were kind of mentioning, yeah, look at what they're buying. And with so many Vandals, I mean, might not be as bad as you'd think, actually, with 5 Vandals. It's not really any break points there at 125. Oh, Master. A kill like that is so good, and they're going to know to expect Sammy here because he was there last round. Smoke comes through, and they don't even need to push. They can pretty much go wherever they want. Radiohead Enjoyer is instead the target on C-site. Trip can only hit a couple as the rest still flood through. Plant about to come down. Daimyo holding such a great spot, catches him reloading and ready for the second. Repositions. What a smart angle. Daimyo gets another through the wall, and it's only a 2v5. Broncos starting to take over on this attack side. Master walking up. Hold on. 2 important kills makes this a little bit more palatable now for the retake, because he gets a gun too, but the flank needed to get value, because now they all know where he is. Some has to try and go through the smoke, and he's 1 bullet to pretty much any gun in the game. Even a snake bite might do him in, or a shock dart, but he might just save that gun. Might be the smart play, knowing he can't really win this one. Actually holding for an exit, but it's going to be the Broncos all the way as time expires, and Boise State getting up to their 10th round now. 4 in a row for the Broncos, who are now firing on all cylinders.
And that save from Sum is very smart, because it denies an ult orb that would have gone the way of Skelesis or Prestige, and that it's something you just don't want to have to deal with later in the game.
Yeah, there are some rounds that it really just is the right play to save. Some already has his ult up. He's just going to buy a rifle next round. There's really no reason to just give the Broncos an extra little confidence boost with that last kill. So a smart play, but still, they're down so much, and Some might be the one to be tested. He's all alone,
man.
but the Broncos really haven't even tried A that much. Instead, opting for mid, and they might catch Henry peeking out so far, but everybody's there. Are they aware? Are they ready? Sandy gets 2, but gets traded in the end. And as things clear, the mid battle ends, casualties counted, and it looks like the Golden Gophers might have lost this war of attrition, at least for now. Zephyr doesn't have the timing in towards backside, smoked off, and Daimyo taking the same exact angle. This time, doesn't want to get too ambitious. Just lets his teammates get the spike down. 2 players backed up, looking to clear this. And it's difficult. As soon as this drone comes through, Daimyo might go. He hears the drone forward, and that's about as free as it gets. Sprays the first, and Zephyr, the last one remaining. Daimyo's ready, and Daimyo delivers. 11 rounds, now 5 straight for the Broncos.
And once again, the economy is not exactly favorable for Minnesota. They'll be on Light Shield Vandals this round, playing against a Killjoy lockdown.
I want to see if you agree with this. I think Minnesota's kind of playing their defense like they played their attack, and that's not really a good thing on this map.
No, I wouldn't say it is. They're playing extremely reactive, and also looking mid a lot, and that makes it hard to hold, but they switch things up.
Yeah,
Bit of a tempo change.
Henry makes himself known up long, but I mean, we don't really need to go there. Ooh, spray.
That's some good damage.
He's making sure he doesn't leave empty-handed, as well as takes the Owl drone to clear the space as well, but they already know he's there. He'll just shoot that out, plus 400. Daimyo walking up mid, though. He's supported. He might be the first one in, but the lockdown comes through, and that covers everything. You gotta leave, and you gotta go far. You can't play anywhere. Instead, they opt for the Hunter's Fury. That's a trade that I think the Broncos will be okay with, knowing that they have equal, if not better, utility and weaponry, and they actually fall off B anyway. Lockdown almost works, because if they hit this wall, they can just walk straight on site here. Teleport comes through, doesn't really see anything. I think the Golden Gophers know that B is weak now and choose to move on to site. It's not as pushable as it was before, and with time running out, there aren't really a lot of good plays left for the Broncos to make here.
Yeah, the only play that really comes to mind is Master walk in and we'll trade you.
But they just choose to go C instead. They've got a lot to deal with. Master, double ping from the dart is so good. They get all the information, and Daimyo late flank as well. Sammy can't stay on site much longer, and Daimyo is still active in the back line. Ooh, barely isn't able to get that one as well. 3 versus 2, but Henry's so low. Cause also low as well, but it doesn't matter. He's got friends. He's got support. Everything is watched, and Henry has to go a different way.
And he's just 2-shot to any rifle here, so it's going to be a difficult play. Near perfection needed, but they can't afford to save this round.
They really can't. I mean, if you save this one, it's over. Or Not really. I mean, there's still one more, but you've got to go perfect just to get to overtime, and looks like Henry's opting for it. Maybe they feel like they have the change that they need going forward, but that means the spike is going to blow up. Broncos are going to get to 12, and they might even find Henry so low. Do they think? They expect him to be here, but they're not even going to peek. Instead, they just take the round. Ooh, actually, Henry gets one on the way out, but still, Broncos get up to 12, and they just need one more to take the map.
And being in the 12 to 6 range is always an unfortunate spot because the Broncos, if they want, they can just save up 5 ultimates, use them all in one round, and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I would just expound, when you're playing at this level, like, there's rarely a time where you can have 0 margin of error. Like, somebody's going to get around. Like, someone's going to get 4 some rounds. So
yeah.
Now they got to play perfect. They can't even give up a multi-kill. They can't do anything of that sort. And a bit more of a traditional kind of player from the Broncos, stacking up outside C. They want to push, but instead now realizing that they don't really have any other choice. They have to re-clear the entire map if they want to go anywhere else, and it's only really Radiohead Enjoyer there to meet them. Actually, if they get too aggressive, they might walk into Cause. He's ready, and it looks like they want to go. Holding it high-low, they want to get the peak, but Cause is ready. That's a deathmatch angle. He finds it easily. Henry, though, able to sneak into mid-window, but they're not even going towards him. His flank still isn't great, and Cause repositions, and he's ready. Cause is ready for it. Maybe.
Oh, man.
He's so aware. 22 HP, this is what you want to do. Oh, but Henry finds it, but that's such good information. They now know they can speed up towards C. Sammy tries to go through, but the Hunter's Fury, perfect backside. The teleport comes through to try and save something. The trades going both ways. Faster, not dead yet, gets the revive. Trying to draw the crosshair, 1v1. It's just Skelesis in the ult. He can't quite land the shot. Little bit too difficult. Henry has to use the overdrive and gets the clutch to keep the Gophers alive.
And as we were watching Cause fight there, you might have been wondering, like, how did he know, right? Who sends the initiator on a flank solo? That's the hint right there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think,
wouldn't really do that.
I think once he saw that the Sova died, he immediately knew there's probably more coming.
And still, though, that's one round of 6 in a row. They have to get to OT, and they use 2 ults. Henry, same sort of play. All that information, and they know exactly who's here. Wall comes down, and actually Henry has a pretty good timing. I don't know if they can see his barrel, but he's up a lot farther than they might expect. Some shows the shoulder, and everything's seen. Henry ahead of the drone. What a play, but he's stuck. There's nowhere for Henry to go. Sprayed down by Cause. It's 1 for 1. Oh, but Master doesn't know about the player close left. The rest of the team all picking angles, and they're all losing their fights. Only 2v4 now. They tried to walk up every extremity, but it was all being accounted for. Cause, it's a tap and draws out a bit of aggression. Zephyr walks through with the paranoia. It's perfect timing. Skelesis has to fall back, and it allows Zephyr to get an easy kill. Skelesis through the smoke has a chance if he's aware of the flank. Some taken down as well. Hold on now. Spike is on site, but there's 2 players remaining. Split. The fight's already isolated for him, and that's the info. He now knows everything he needs to know. Backside, Sammy isn't ready. Caught off guard, and he knows about the flank. 4 bullets. He can plant. He can go anywhere he wants. He can run all the way to A. It's only Radiohead Enjoyer to match him. And how do you play this if you're Skelesis?
He has the Sova dart. Once the plant comes through, he's going to hear somebody tap. He can just dart out and get a free kill.
And look at that plant. You can see it from everywhere. Radiohead Enjoyer has to be so aware, so cautious of everything. And Skelesis, knowing that there's no util to play with, he just lets him walk onto site, because still he's going to have to clear every angle. Time is ticking. Skelesis holding the angle, starting to get low. Margin of error dissipating for Radiohead Enjoyer. Util still up for Skelesis. Gets the jump spot, sees the stick. Half has been gained though. Radiohead Enjoyer off, but Skelesis gets the clutch for the win. 1 versus 4. A miracle masterclass from the IGL. And what a play for the first map.
Oh, man. Just crazy well played. He heard a single gunshot on the flank, and I just knew the round was his.
Oh, like,
It's crazy.
that's all it takes sometimes, because you could literally see the exact moment, like in his just movement when he knew that he had the timing, because when he didn't know where anyone was, he could be close left, close right, literally anywhere. But yeah, as soon as he hears that shot, he's like, I've got this. It's my turn. And what a performance from them. And Cause really turned up on that second half as well. Of course, I was kind of going to mention going into it that like the top player, at least at the half, was like 10 and 12. So getting a lot of kills, but still dying quite a bit. But Cause pretty much went he died like twice the whole second half. So what an insane play from them. But before we go to a quick little break, don't forget, all our teams here at Boise State have social media pages, and that of course includes our Valorant team. So if you want to keep up with all things Boise State Valorant, scan the QR codes or follow us at Boise State Val on Instagram and X. You'll get updates, schedules, match results, content, and more. That's Boise State Val on Instagram and X. Show the team some support and love. And with that, we're going to go to a quick little break as everything gets ready for map 2 on Corrode, but don't go anywhere because you're going to need to see this.
How's it look so far? Comfortable?
Yes.
Times and places all in who you share them with. Joy,
I got in.
who you share it with.
This is a great use of your home equity.
Who you share it with.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
Attention please, about to start the show, better take your seats. It's time to let the curtain rise, we're gonna shake the room, we're gonna honor.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Hallelujah, hey, jubilee. I got a
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
Hello and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where we just got a thrilling game one on Haven. Boise State Broncos versus the Minnesota Golden Gophers is looking to be a great game so far. Minnesota, of course, showing why they're always so competitive. But Nathaniel, we always had an inside joke when we would just play ranked of, like no matter how bad it's going, no matter how tilted I am, it's half. Don't worry, we're second half players. Don't worry, Zach. We're always second half players, and the Broncos kind of are.
Yeah, no, that it was like neck and neck, and then it switches to the second half, and something just activated. I don't know.
But it seems like they do that so much.
Every time. Maybe they just like drink a monster before the game,
and it kicks in like
and it kicks in right then.
They know the exact timing, but really, of course, I'm still thinking about that clutch from Skelesis, because that's, for people that don't play the game, that is literally the hardest possible round to win, is an attack like 1v4 when you have no clue where anyone is and you don't have the spike. He didn't even have the spike. So just an insane highlight from him, but we've got a little bit of a switch up now. Sky's in for Daimyo, and of course heading to Corrode, we probably know what that means.
Yes, we are going to see the waylay from the Broncos, and I'm excited because Sky's on the waylay is always just something fun to watch. Like he dashes up and then throws the saturate on somebody, and it's just a kill, like every time.
Wow. I mean, got some interesting stats here already. So
yeah.
I was looking at a few of them, and of course, this is one of those stats where like it might not be as crazy as it sounds, but of 15 total rounds, the Boise State won 80% of the rounds where they got the first kill. So, I mean, of course, you would kind of expect that a lot of the time, but, I mean, they were able to get that first kill a lot, and when they do, they kind of lock it down. It's difficult, and, I mean, I'm going to segue you again into the exact same point. You know who likes to get a lot of first kills on Corrode?
Skies, yes.
Once again, so that does kind of always seem to be a bit of just kind of the theme, but actually, an interesting segue with that same stat is Minnesota actually had the same win rate on the rounds where they got the first kill. They also had an 80%, but they only got it 5 times. So essentially, I mean, that's just a principle of Valorant in general. Obviously, is if you get that first kill, you're probably going to win the round, but getting those, I mean, they got 3 times more. So the Broncos are definitely the ones taking that initiative that I did think the Golden Gophers were going to take, but instead they really slowed it down on their attack side, and now they're on a map that it might be even better to slow down on attack.
And we were talking before this about maybe what Minnesota would play, and I was like, they have to play the Neon, because they were playing on Haven, and if you play it on Haven, then you're probably going to play the Corrode Neon comp, but no, it's looking like they're going for a very similar comp to ours. Prestige hovering the Reyna, there's no shot he picks that.
He might, bro.
Have you seen what they did to Reyna, though? They nerfed her. They nerfed her so much.
She's really not super great anymore. Prestige maybe hovering it for the fans.
For the hype here.
Knowing that we want to see it on the desk.
I would like to see it.
Going over, I think, most likely to a Sentinel of some sort. Maybe not the Vise. Okay, it is the Vise, and that is the normal setup that we see. A very, very similar setup from the Golden Gophers, but instead they actually look to be opting for that KO instead. I really like KO. I think KO might be the most underrated agent in the game. Yoru is unfortunately not as underrated anymore. People really like Yoru, but
yeah,
I think it does have the potential for a lot of team play that we did see out of them. Like, they had some good stuff going, and like, especially for a team that we always talk about just how, you know, they have just a lot of people coming in. They look great. They look really coordinated.
Yes, I agree. And something that we always talk about, I feel like when it's Corrode with the Broncos, is how do you stop that fast push? And KO is built for that.
We'll have to see who's really built for the win here, though, as we go on to potential match point. Boise State got the first one, turning it up in the second half, and we're going to have to see if they can keep that momentum going forward onto map 2. It's either this or Breeze. Golden Gophers looking to get a little bit more in this series, but they've got to earn it here. Attack first again.
Yeah, once again, it's their time to set the precedent. We were saying maybe they were playing a little bit too slow on that attack, and then they made it 6-6, so maybe we don't know anything, but if there's a map to play slow on, Corrode is that map. It's literally in the name of the map. Like, you corrode away the defense slowly.
I like this.
Mid is so important to pressure, and with like
interesting wall. I don't think I've ever seen that wall.
Oh man, what is that wall?
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
It allows you to walk up mid.
Oh, but there's a hole in it.
Oh no!
Oh
There's already a hole
no!
in the wall. So they know it's fake. They know that they're not actually using it. Instead, they can think about other extremities. Prestige, already the one to be tested. And again, looking to take over this map. Always the closer, but can he open things up here for the Broncos? If he gets tested, he might not even. Jump peek catches Henry right as he's moving away, so doesn't even take any damage for it. But Henry actually just runs in, uses the refract, get a bit of space, then walk out, but that's Prestige's turn to move. Oh, in the smoke, Prestige is so ready. Ah, trips the wall. But up mid now, Master, so close. They've gone up mid, they've used that wall to their own advantage, and they're so stacked up. The Golden Gophers look like they want to go back mid, but it's going to be so dangerous. Skies and Master have a crossfire. Master swings out wide. What a play. Gets the first trade, comes through. Oh, Sammy, good trade as well, though. It's down now 3v3, but Prestige, what a timing! Walks out, gets one, but hold on. Here's the footsteps, has to leg it back to sight. Tries not to die. If he dies right now, it's bad, but if he can live for just a minute, it'll be so important. But he's under so much pressure, it might just be too much. Sammy able to get the shot, but that bought time for the flank to come through. It's Cause and Skelesis already, but what a spot from Sammy. In towards heaven. Ooh, what a shot as well. 3 for him. Cause has to clutch. 1v2, but he knows where both are. Ooh, so close. That shot was insane.
That was disgusting.
Free aiming, head height. I don't even know how he knew where Sammy's head was there. What a crazy shot, but still, despite being this close, Minnesota gets the first just as they did on Haven. They're going to look to get bit of their footing back after things look to slip, at least for a little bit in that first map.
Yeah, and that mid play when the wall fell, Master just immediately backpedals to regroup with his team, which, like we always say, the Broncos just amazing team play.
Prestige dodges the knife. No information gained for it. Has a bandit as well, and support. If they go too hard on this B side, it could be dangerous, but the spike isn't there, so I doubt that they will. Cause, really great, is able to shoot out the Prowler, so now tucked into the corner. Skies might not even be watched for. Master gets one as well. That's going to be all the more incentive to want to go towards this A site. Because that's a paranoia in hand, though. Skies, the TP comes through, and well played by Sammy. Not really much counter to that, as another mid kill goes through, and Golden Gophers can really regroup and have pretty much all the time in the world to think about what they want to do next.
Yeah, they're just sitting mid, looking to see what they can do. And the entire map really is just in their control if they choose correctly.
And they do indeed. Going towards B, it was the perfect play to stack. Gambled towards A, it's not going to pay off. But they do rotate quick, though. They could catch them before they're fully set up. Smoke comes down, and Master looks ready for this. Zephyr gets caught out. That's a gun given over. And full health now for Master, who swings in, tries to draw the crosshair, but Sammy is so strong so far. Cause the first, but that's all he's going to get. 2 now for the Golden Gophers. Sammy, I think already 6 kills this game in 2 rounds.
Yes, he already has from the Shadows online. And though it's not the best ult, it's still an ultimate.
Well, and something I think is interesting is the worse an ultimate is, in my own, it's not like an exact 1-to-1, but if an ultimate's really bad, using it when no one else has theirs makes it really good.
And something that you'll notice here is not everybody can buy for the Golden Gophers. So if they get a pick, Sammy can drop his gun to Zephyr and then ult to grab the gun.
If we see that, my goodness, I might have to pay you just for even thinking of something so cool. Prestige takes out Henry with a quick shot, and that is exactly what they want. Master gets pinged, but it doesn't really matter. They can't find the spray, and with regen shield, it practically didn't even happen. He can just forget all about this whole incident, go about his day. As the Golden Gophers look towards B, and Master, if he walks through this, it's just an insane read. Instead, he goes with the Prowler. Still, it's just too dangerous for him to want to go as the rest of the pressure comes towards B site, and it doesn't look to be received by anyone.
It looks like the Gophers are getting ready to push in.
Ooh. Teleport backside. Sammy's in a really, really great position. Unless Prestige catches him now, and he does. Backside Prestige pulls the trigger and gets everything. 3-4 Prestige picks his moment and gets the first for the Broncos. Still playing out very similarly to that Haven game that we just saw. Pistol bonus go over the Gophers, and Boise State quickly getting it back with rifles. They're going to look to get this next one to make the money comfortable. They weren't able to get that 4th round last map, so maybe this is where the timelines deviate.
Yes, this 4th round is very important. It's the first rifle round of the game, and whoever wins it gets to dictate the economy of the other team.
Something quickly to note is Henry right now 0-3, so the entry hasn't been having too much success. That's normally what you want to play off on this map, but instead it's really been the late play, the clutches from Sammy that have worked out so far, and I mean, that's classic Waylay right there. That's all your util gone. You're practically just a gun at this point. Prestige doesn't fall for it. Paz spots the head, and the information is really all on the side of the Broncos. They're able to take so much space here.
Yeah, I mean, they have all that mid space.
Oh, wow, and that's what happens when you have all the space. You start getting the easy fights. Skies once again takes out a player, and you know what that means. 80% chance that the Broncos able to win this one, but they've got to earn it. Master in the smoke hears everybody, all the footsteps noted, and they don't even want to try him. Instead, he's going to get a perfect chance to play this one late. Potential flank as the Gophers look towards A, but it's really not great. Master eats the flash, but it doesn't matter. Prowler notes the players. They still, time is so low, they have to go at some
30
point.
seconds left.
Yeah, they need to go now.
And they do. Haunt comes through, but Sky's ahead of it. So ready. Cause gets the first. Skies gets one of his own. Lines up the players, but Zephyr quick on it. Snakebite stops them from moving in, and they have 10 seconds. They can't even get to the spike. They don't even have time to play this one. It might have backfired a little trying to play so slow, so methodical, as now all that's left is for the time to run out. Sammy trying to maybe get one more kill to take his way. But the round goes the way of the Broncos, who even up the score, and Sammy can't even escape with his weapon, gets taken down.
And that is a very unfortunate death, because he got the 1,000 credits that you get for not dying.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Despite dying.
Literally the worst outcome economically for a round is living and then dying in the 6 seconds at the end of the round, because, like, well, as you were about to mention, yeah, you get 2,900 for a loss, and 1,000 if you live, so he's not even going to make his money back on that one.
Very, very rough stuff.
Dodged, I think. Pretty sure Skies dodged that. Prestige ahead of it. Henry really ambitious there. Gets the shear out. Wall tripped. Maybe he's still shaking a little bit after his close encounter with death. Only one player on B. They just know they can put other players in different places because Prestige is able to hold on to these so well most of the time, but it's a lot to ask. If he's smoked off, they might just have to play retake.
Yeah, no, it's one smoke heaven, and it's kind of over.
But the smoke's still not here. There it goes,
but
Henry's ahead of it. Prestige just takes his head off, and now he doesn't even have to peek through the smoke if he doesn't want to. players can come out, but once again, that first kill always so important as the rest of the players now ready to flood through mid seas. That's so good. It's gonna hit everybody. 2 players caught by it. Prowler also chasing them down. Util gaining so much ground. Master in through first. Sammy holding strong with the Bucky, but it hits him. The Saturate hits him. He's trapped on site. Can't go anywhere. Snakebite makes his options even thinner. 1 player left. Radiohead Enjoyer trying his best, but it's Prestige, the opener and the closer, as the Broncos take the round and get up to 3.
Something that we've been noticing about Minnesota is Henry's entry. He kind of uses all of his utility just to get rid of Prestiges, and then they have such a rough time taking space, and they have to play so slow in the mid-round. So maybe a different approach could bear some more fruit for them.
They're doing the same setup every single round.
Yes.
They send Henry towards B to just make noise, get the trip, then hopefully regroup, but a lot of the time he's not even able to do that. Maybe something else required, but looks like the status quo here for the Golden Gophers.
If I'm Henry, I want my team to not treat me like a drone with a gun. As Prestige gets suppressed here by that KO null command.
Actually, normally able to dodge. It hits him this time, but once again, Henry just looking to get the shear triggered, but on the other side of the map, that's the spike. They even use Convergent Pass. They think the spike being there must mean everyone's there, but no. You just cut the head off the Hydra. Well, not really. Nothing really is growing back in place. Those deaths are permanent. 3 versus 4. Prestige also has such a crazy flank. There's no way Zephyr would expect him here. The smoke? I'd actually save him for the time being. In through it anyway, though. Prestige doesn't care, but he actually doesn't know. Zephyr hearing that might have a chance now to get a double flank, flank the flanker.
Yeah, this is a little strange.
Actually turns back, and Zephyr's still, though, more ready for it. But it's 3v2, and they can't really get the spike. It's so difficult. Knife, not dodged by Skelesis, but still unmoving on his site. Master, the 3rd on the round for him. Only 1 player left. Zephyr, what can you even really do? 9 bullets. Master doesn't even want to reload. That's all he needs. 20 seconds. So he takes his spot, clears spawn, and Zephyr might just save this one. It seems like they're doing it so much, but takes 1 more on his way out towards spawn. He has a chance on a Master as well. Zephyr gets 4, but at this point it's all just kind of meaningless. Spike doesn't go down, and Cause brings out the bear because it's celebration time. Boise State win the round. They lose quite a bit of money, but they're still going to even have enough to buy.
If there was a round for Minnesota to change tempo, just looking at the ult economy, this would be the round, right? And that timeout makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Perhaps that's something they can talk about here. Where do we just press the X key 3 times at and win? That's probably what they're thinking.
Well, and especially the null command, the KO ult, like, it's so valuable here because it basically means that you can stop treating Henry like a drone with a gun. Because what he's essentially, the whole reason that they're doing that is to get the util out. But, I mean, if they just hit the KO, well, now Henry is free to do whatever he pleases. He can switch it up, and I do really like seeing the timeout come out here. I think, obviously, we watch so many games. I've seen so many games where teams will let 5 or 6 rounds go before calling a timeout, and there's just really no reason to do that. Like, you got them, just use them. There's no downside to using a timeout.
And something,
well, I mean, unless you use it like the bad time, but
something the Broncos can think about is that Prestige's utility is global.
Yeah.
So he can just place down the utility, tell somebody else to play off of it, and then go the other site. And that way, KO does nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it seems like they'd be aware of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him switch up his position or maybe play like way back towards heaven so that his utility doesn't get disabled. Because they've still got some ultimates of their own. Steel Garden online, Nightfall online. Those are kind of 2 of the best ults in the game.
Can both stop a push in
but
its
maybe
tracks.
not this round with all the sheriffs. Finally, I mean, it's not even really a tempo change because they're at the same pace, but they have decided to go mid instead. And look at this, just by the fact that they've lost enough rounds already, it's been 20 seconds, and what have they really got?
Nothing, really.
I mean, they've got a sightline down mid, but they've got to go somewhere. it's just difficult to play like this because now the Broncos are allowed to make space of their own. Every second that the Golden Gophers don't walk up is a second that the Broncos do. Skies has taken a forward position mid though. This is going to be a little bit dangerous. It's going to have to be watched for. And A only has 2 players on it, but Skelesis has an Odin. This is what you'd want to hold down in the face of adversity. Haunt comes through. That's going to at least note Sammy has to. That's 1 player noted, but there's 4 towards mid. Is Skelesis ready for this? In they go. Dash comes through. Saturate hits somebody, dodges it, buys time with the Prowler. Can he get his gun out before they come through? Spray comes through it just in time. Skelesis repositions and manages to make them afraid for now. 1 peek through, Cause trades it, and now it's his turn. 1 versus 3, Smoke falls on side. I think he spotted Zephyr. In goes the metal, takes him down quite low, only 1 player left. There's just too much to deal with. A perfect retake from the Broncos to get to 5 rounds.
And here's a statistic I want to know. How many of these rounds has Prestige gotten the last kill? Because I feel like it's every time. We've seen it again.
The closer, immune to pressure it seems. It's just, I mean, good on the Gophers for even getting the spike down.
Yeah,
it seems
getting
like
the
it's
spike
been
down
tough for
there
them
is
to even be able to
crazy.
do that. So they didn't even use any ults. I mean, all things considered, they just really want that first engagement to go their way. That's why you bring the Waylays for this attack. They've just been having so much trouble so far.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, they can just hit the convergent paths and the null command together, and surely that's a site taken for them for free.
This. I mean, just by the fact that they take so much time to scale,
Master's
Master
already
can
up
just
there.
walk out like this is such a dangerous play most of the time, but I mean, it's not even super dangerous. Has the not dead yet and has a player in support. Skies holding a perfect angle. He's ready for this peak. Jump spot goes through. And even if he's known, they expect Master. They do though. Henry able to get his first of the game, and it's a really, really important one, but it's traded so quick. Still though, trade good for the Golden Gophers. 1-for-1s are probably a little bit better for the attack, as well as that damage onto Skies. They want to go B, but still, look who's here. Prestige hasn't budged, and he's ready. Has the Phantom. Big damage through onto Sum. Convergent pass hits him, and he has to deliver. It's so difficult, but Sum just runs in too fast, and they use the Nightfall to try and help him out, but instead, it might have been a little ill-advised. But it kind of lets Cause get up, and he dodges a Nightfall of his own, so Nightfall's exchanged not for much. It's probably good. Now, as Skelesis has a chance to get in towards backside, and look at Sum so low. An aggressive peek is not going to pay off for him. Util used. 2v2 towards heaven. Henry has a great angle, but Cause, you know he can hit that angle. He showed it to you earlier, and he's ready for it, but it's not planted for heaven. It's not planted. Henry can't see. It's all pretty much onto Zephyr. Flash comes through. Oh, but Zephyr gets it. Smoke pops at the best time. And the Golden Gophers are able to get a critical round for their attack.
That keeps their economy alive for 1 more round. And it gives them another chance at this next one. And notably, they didn't use all their ultimates. Viper Pit and Null Command together is still a very strong combo.
And I think I need to give the Golden Gophers a bit more credit than I was, because I was saying like, oh, you just give all this space. Look, they're just going to walk up, but they know that. Like, they know that in this amount of time, anyone could really have walked into that corner, so they're going to clear it, and that was such a crucial first kill, of course, keeping that statistic alive. Because they get the first and they do get the round, and now they change things up heavy. They haven't done anything like this before. Henry, quick onto Skies, gets the 1v1 to go his way, and now it's all onto Cause and Skelesis. Null Command comes through. Smoke, though, it's a little late. Skelesis can spray. Cause is there as well. Prestige, Razorvine claims 1, and Skelesis cleans it out. A 2-pronged attack for the round, and that is going to be your unbottled play of the game. That was your Unbottled Play of the Game, presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more, and that statistic isn't ringing so true anymore now, is it? They get the first on the Skies, but the whole team now, they use that as their chance. They go, Null Command, let's all run through, but Cause and Skelesis won't be moved off their angles that easily.
No, and our our statistician over here would say that correlation is not causation.
Sometimes it certainly can be. I would imagine if Prestige can get this shot. Ooh, I don't even know what he saw there. Yeah, I certainly didn't see it, but they both escape with their lives. He's aware of the pressure and falls back towards site now. And once again, despite changing the tempo up a little bit, they again grind to a halt, the Golden Gophers that is. And this is a great angle for Skies, but 2 players is just too much to bargain. Once again, taken out first as B-site. Prestige leaves to try and back up mid, but he realizes at the last moment that might be ill-advised. Runs back towards site and able to get his position before the push comes through, and actually brings along Master for the ride. Hold on, they've waited long enough now that positions are good, and that's a perfect ult! That ult is literally perfect! Master, the first, the wall cuts him off! Henry's alone on site, has to refract, and whoa, through the smoke! Ambitious from some, drops the spike! They're trying to leave, but they have to grab it first, and the flank is already here! Prestige one more, but the flank is inbound at any moment now! Skelesis will pull the trigger, and Cause is the one to get it instead! 7 kills! And a perfect ult from Prestige. That might be one of the best Vise ults I've ever seen.
Yeah, because it's not just that he hit the Vise ult, like, to stop the push. He hit it as they were walking in, so they have their rifles out, and then they're pulling out their guns and can't shoot at all.
Well, in the wall, it seems so crazy to me that on they did like
They baited
7
it out.
rounds in a row,
Yes.
they would bait the wall out, and then this time is the one time they don't, and it's the time that the wall wins them the round. So just very, very unfortunate. A string of very unlucky things happening to Minnesota right now as they look to chase their losses down mid. Skies. Ooh, once again, Henry wins the 1v1. Henry starting to round into form quite a bit here. Goes his way, but that statistic that I was mentioning doesn't seem like it's real anymore because Master in such a crazy spot. If this smoke drops, he's going to have to choose someone to flick on and choose it quick. Instead, has a chance to pull back and look at Prestige. Oh, gets the flank, and now that space for Master. Ultimate, does he use it? I'm not sure. Hits it, and now has a chance, but they're going to run away. He's going to have to run them down. A timer on his life. He has to get a kill soon or he's going to be gone for good. Trying to run down main, but he chooses the wrong way. Tries to chase into spawn and not able to get it. Not that yet gets good information, though, because it lets Skelesis walk up flank. Cause has to be the one. 1 versus 3, and he's ahead of it. He's ready for it. Gets a crazy off angle. They're not going to expect him here. The first. Oh, but he can't fall back in time. Sammy is so quick on the trade, and now, I mean, 1v3 Skelesis. I think I've seen something like this before. The timing, oh, so good. And not shooting there is so crucially, critically important, but he doesn't realize that they think he's here. He should have followed them in because they expect him to be in this corner. He's going to be watched. Who has to win the fight straight up, and Henry's the one to get it instead now. 4 rounds for the Golden Gophers. Henry, despite the slow start, really taking over here these past couple rounds, getting some good value.
Yeah, I mean, after the timeout, the change in strategy has kind of allowed Henry to, I would argue, play the game after not making him bait out the wall.
It almost seems like he didn't really, didn't want to do the stuff that he's doing originally, but just it seems like his play style and what he's used to is a bit more fitting for these kind of, to use him more for individual picks instead of just to clear a whole site full of util.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like he's more ready for these lurky kind of slow plays, and he's doing really well at that so far, but they could potentially get one more before the half. They do have the ultimate advantage. Viper's Pit early used on B site, cuts it off quick, and the stack is towards A. Convergent Pass is going to be difficult to push into, but they do have one of their own. Smoke coming down mid as well. Master and Skies are going to be in a lot of pressure here soon.
And that Omen ult
Interesting.
is going to fake maybe a little bit.
Just making, I mean, you can't take it with you. It's better to use it than not use it at all. As they start to scale up 4 players towards A main. They're so afraid to take these angles, though. Convergent pass comes through, but it doesn't hit anything. Skies, a chance to retaliate. Dash comes through, waiting for all the footsteps, but he doesn't use it yet. Instead, he hits it now, but they're past it. Sammy and Henry are past it. And oh, Henry, what a flick. 180 onto Skies. A good transfer. Are Cause and Skelesis even aware of this flank? They're not. Radiohead Enjoyer, the dagger in the back. As Minnesota able to rally back and get to a 5-7 half.
Switching sides.
And it's crazy how that little hesitation there was the difference between winning the round and losing it.
We'd like to give a thank you quickly to ICCU for their continued support of Boise State esports. Thanks to ICCU, Boise State esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com.
And now that we go into the second half, people's balances and the economy has been reset. And we're once again in an important round. We need to see who exactly wins this pistol. The Sheriff coming out is rather interesting, as you would probably want your initiator to have their utility.
I'm always the one talking about these pistol rounds, and of course I say they're all like incredibly important, but this one genuinely is. Because if Minnesota can win this, they could potentially get to 7-7 and stop the Broncos from doing what they do best, which is get out to a crazy start on the second half. Slow play, but look at the difference in the play here. Because while they still have that mid space, they've also taken towards B and A, getting a lot of good utility to be used already, and no one even has the spike. They're not decided on where they want to go yet.
No, they're just looking for a pick and some information. The amount of guns they bought tells me that they want the pick more.
Now, I think they're going to end up going towards A. Skies, a little bit of damage through the wall, maybe looking for something, dashes out. Shot can't quite be found. Good space, though, is drawing all the players over. That's 3 players towards V. Skies, a perfect fake. And now Henry is going to peek into the Armada. He's not ready. Has to run back as fast as he can. Prestige trying to run him down, but the timing's not great as all the players are over pretty fast. They've got to clear Henry out. Henry's in a great spot. If he doesn't get taken down here, they can just retake because the paranoia comes through. That's 4 on site. Zephyr, 2 quick headshots, 13 seconds. They've got to make something happen through the smoke. They have to run. It's nothing to be found. Prestige, the last one to fall in a flawless pistol round for the Golden Gophers. And I can't believe they were able to get over to A-site fast enough for that.
Yeah, I mean, that flank or the Skies baiting the site, it really, that bought so much time. That bought maybe 10 seconds extra on the rotate.
It pulled the mid players who were ready to back up A. It pulled them towards B, but just I almost think that, well, since they didn't know that, they were a little hesitant to really speed up on A side, and just a couple seconds, it makes all the difference. It can be the difference between a really terrible angle that you're just going to get free fired on
and a free kill.
Yeah, an off angle that you're just going to get a free kill on.
And now the Broncos appear to be walking up B.
Looking to just get out, use that advantage. Shorty in hand. Skelesis still taken, but they don't expect a second. And what a kill, because now Skelesis can push into spawn. He can go heaven, he can go wherever he pleases. And he gets another quickly. That's so good. Another weapon potentially given over. Some trades it back. Oh, and another though. Now things are a bit more uneven. Prestige has to get this one backside. Henry testing him. It's going to be so dangerous, so sketchy. Gets the first. Ready for the second. Pivots, swings, but can't get the kill. A better gun for that type of engagement's going to find it. And what I was talking about now, things even up at 7-7. The rifles can now be on the table.
Indeed they can. And something else on the table. It's the Fade Nightfall from Minnesota. 5 out of 8 charges.
That's so
you
good.
You can start playing for it here.
And what's crazy to note about as well is, like, if they're able somehow to get like both orbs and a kill or something, when you're on an eco, it just basically makes
That's
every gun. It makes every gun a Vandal essentially if you hit a Nightfall. So even more valuable this time. But some of those orbs so hard to fight for. The B1 and the A1 both really difficult for the defense to get their hands on, so killing the time a little bit. It's Prestige and Master working towards A. Split Skelesis and Cause. Or, sorry, other way around. Skelesis Cause towards A. They're going to get contact onto Zephyr. And the mid players working as well. Prestige trying to maybe get an early peek. But the only thing is if he dies here, that's a Vandal given over. So knowing that, he's not giving anything he doesn't need to. Letting his team stack up and work towards mid.
And as they work mid, that clove smoke's going to fade away, and it's going to make it a lot harder. And that
I think the footsteps are heard here. This could be a fake, but actually no.
Looks like a hit to me.
I don't know. No, it looks like a fake now as the team goes back. They're trying to really sell it using everything in the bank account, but doesn't really work. No one really moves, and the Golden Gophers are holding their nerve. Zephyr still has to deliver, though, because there's no one's really quick on the rotate. They all have to come through mid. Zephyr's alone on site, but he has the flash. Hits it. Oh, but it's not quite dodged. Cause, though, just isn't able to get him. Second flash not dodged either. Zephyr can't quite land the kill. Cause still ahead of it. A third flash hits him. He's just eating every flash, but he still is able to stay alive for a bit longer backside till Zephyr finally claims him. Henry as well through mid. And now things are difficult. 2v3 Master, the only one left. Henry, 3 with the Guardian, swinging through Master a little bit too much. Bit off more than he could chew at that peak, and Henry, 4K on an eco round. Now, like you said, you don't want to lose that third one.
No, because Valorant rounds, they always come in pairs. So we're forecasting a 7 and 9 here. And also, Henry, I mean, he's been playing so well after that timeout. I remember when we were looking at the scoreboard earlier, he was 0 and 6.
Yeah.
And now he's all the way up to 15 and 10. That is crazy.
That's just, I mean, I was like I said, like, just, you got to use the timeouts, man. I mean, there's no downside. Sometimes you just find out the secret. Something that kind of opens up the lock, so to speak. As it looks like Henry has done, able to get so many kills, and Zephyr, what a crazy peek, but he's getting ran down. Henry through the, through the air? What a shot from Henry. Cause is still here though. Here's the reload, and Henry through the smoke. He's just the perfect bodyguard, the perfect wingman, and he finally falls. But again, the wingman's got a wingman. Sammy's the one to get it, and again, Sum gets the kill mid. Minnesota really locking in here, and when you're hitting those shots, my goodness, not surprised to see a timeout come through. Henry just really locked down that A that round.
Yeah, once you start rallying 4 in a row, that's probably when I would say it's timeout time.
Well, especially that was their save too, so now
yes, so now we have the rifles.
But really, I really like how Minnesota's playing this one, because that first one, they of course kept it even, but then going into the next one, that really got away from them pretty quickly there. But this time, they kept it even, or they were down around at the half, and then they came out swinging again. Despite kind of what had happened that first time, they didn't let it get to them, and I mean, they're proving they got to be respected, man.
They definitely are. I mean, the scoreboard doesn't lie here, and I'm just curious as to what you think the Broncos are going to do here, because it's not like the Broncos have been doing the same play every time. They've been mixing it up quite a bit, so
I think, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult. I don't want to give any bad advice, but I guess just to me, it seems like Minnesota just really, really like when the clock is ticking real low, and it seems like defense or offense, they're winning those rounds for the most part. When things get down to the wire, it's like all the utils out, it's just guns. And so I almost think kind of playing to the opposite of that. Don't let them get those angles. Don't let them trade off each other. Just overwhelm them with a lot of force. And it's difficult, though, because when you're losing, it seems like the last thing you really want to do is speed up. Oh, wow. Look at the damage on calls already.
Already one shot to these rifles.
Oh, this is a crazy angle, though. Master might have it onto Sam. He sees the jump spot, and the jump spot sees him as well. Mid information given away, and Henry, look at this angle. I don't think they're going to expect, oh, Prowler hits him. Henry has to dash out. Really, really great. They know who's where, but they still have to execute. And on such low HP, it's difficult to make the call here.
It's looking like A-Link might be the place of affection here. As Master slices the pie and just clears everything here.
Whoa, what a kill.
That's
on
very
the sum.
important. They can easily pivot into B from here.
They should as well. It's just so difficult to make that call with two of their players A, but really smart of them. Of course, they knew about Henry and Zephyr earlier. Radiohead and Joy are the only one who's not really been watched for. Actually, they're going back.
A bit of a fake.
What a play, but Zephyr, this fight is so important. If he can kill Zephyr running away, what a timing, but he can't land the shot. So unfortunate, but he has a second chance, and he has a buddy this time. Kaz draws the crosshair. So well played, but Henry's still alive and has the op. Kaz, though, on 22 HP can kind of be the battering ram. The operator's going to kill no matter what, and ambitious from Sammy. It's worked quite a bit, so I can't necessarily blame him, but now a 2v4, a great position, and an operator's not really what you want in this spot. Prestige is never going to peak that in a million years. The Earth could freeze over before he's going to swing that angle. Instead, he holds. If you hold like this, it means you're going to be holding head height. He's looking at Skelesis, and now he's looking at Henry, but it's Skies to get them all as the bleeding has been stopped a bit now. Operator taken out of the hands, and the Broncos get a round now on attack.
And
Kaz played that round so well for having 22 HP.
yes. And also, what you were saying about the Broncos maybe needing to speed up a bit, I feel like they played slow at the beginning, and then once Minnesota used both of their Omen smokes, immediately sped up and just took all of the site so fast. Of course, the fake probably helped out.
Yeah, that was a really great fake. I wouldn't have done that play, and it was definitely the right play to make. So great IGLing, great mid-round, of course. Knowing they had those players towards A, it's just quicker to go towards A than move them all. As the adaption this time is really heavy towards mid from the Golden Gophers, and I mean, if this gets found out, B might be way more open than they expect, but they have to retrieve the spike before they're able to do any of that.
Yeah, first the Broncos need to realize how many players are playing here, though.
Oh, this is dangerous. They want to fight towards mid, but they reinforced it. They put bars over the windows, and it's going to be difficult to break in now, but Skies has a sledgehammer. Ooh, and another. He gets down some as well. Not dead yet, utilized. This could be so big. Henry has to run, trying to dash away, but he has only in the corner. Has to use the ult and still dies. What a shot from Master. Gets the convergent pass and still gets the kill. A perfect saturate onto Radiohead and Joyer as well. Backside Skies taking over this round. It's only Zephyr, and he's in a different area code. His phone number has 3 digits that are different at the front from the rest of his teammates. And he has to run so far. Time is going to be low by the time he even gets here.
And look at how far up the Broncos are. I mean, they already have his number. It's
despite the different digits, they know it nonetheless. I don't even think he's going to try. Looks like a save. Zephyr has been saving quite a bit this game. He seems like he is a smart cookie when it comes to the economy for sure. Understands it's probably the best play to make. Broncos making sure everything's accounted for, not letting a sneaky defuse go away as they make sure they don't fall. Zephyr hiding in a corner, and they're going to get it to even rounds. Broncos 9-9. A little bit of the timeout did them well, I think. We've noticed the theme here is off the timeout. Whichever team takes it seems to really be performing. So
yeah, no, the timeout is always just so strong to use. It helps you plan forward and mentally reset. But also, I would argue the timeout is a bit...
Sorry, that shot is so crazy.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Literally, convergent pass is used to just make sure there's no way that Henry dies
and
there.
And then Henry dies.
It still happens. Literally last possible second.
Oh.
Prowler finding someone's really good there, too.
If the Broncos figure out the positions here, though, it seems pretty obvious where to hit.
I mean, A side is full. Well, actually, Henry over towards mid now makes things a bit easier to rotate from, but I mean, look at all these rotates coming over already.
Yeah, I saw Steel Garden in hands, but I think it's not going to be used here.
Fight towards mid again. Saturate could be so big. Nightfall, it knows about 2. Convergent pass. They know that 2 are there, and they're going to find 2. Actually, Some. Whoa, hold on. Some is able to rally and take down both through a double ult. But still, the rest of the team is alive. Ooh, and what a kill from Cause. 2 are hit by the Nightfall, but not Prestige. He's ready for the swing if it comes, but it might not.
And that Steel Garden is still online.
Oh, what a kill, though. Radiohead Enjoyer trades on to Skelesis, still 2v2, and Steel Garden used, buys space on site. Cause taps the spike, trying to get someone to walk up. Zephyr using utility. That's going to hit both players. So they know that no one's playing late, but they both decide to swing. What a play. Good teamwork to find the first, and now they just have to make sure they don't give away these fights. Radiohead Enjoyer had a clutch much like this earlier in the game, but now they know. Tap on the spike, and Prestige just swings, gets it, and now the Broncos get up to 10. They regain their lead now after the half started off a little sketchy for them.
Now, Doc's keys to the game. Remember what they said? Know your win condition. I see
Twice.
Cause's ult coming online. That's a win condition, no?
It is absolutely a win condition, and the only thing, though, is this timeout. It's interesting. I almost don't know what they're going to say, though, because these rounds, I don't even really feel like the Golden Gophers have been playing them, like, badly, so to speak. Like, there hasn't been a big glaring flaw, like, bro, you're leaving A side open. You know,
no,
like, it's just been these little micro plays and stuff like that that have been the decider, and these are always the most kind of games that you get nervous to watch because you never really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and maybe that's the perfect time to call a timeout.
Yeah.
You're feeling a little nervous and making a bunch of just small errors that add up, and sometimes just taking a minute and a half break from the action might be enough to calm you down and help you hold those sights.
The Broncos really, like, they're going to be so glad they got that last round. They used 2 of, like, the best ults in the entire game, and got 1 kill. It was a 1-for-2 trade.
Yeah.
So if they had lost that round, they would be down right now with like an ult disadvantage, but instead it goes their way, and that's kind of how it works sometimes. So maybe it's lucky, maybe it's not, but they're going to be happy nonetheless. 10-9. Cause wants to get this orb, wants to get this space, and off the timeout, a little bit of a pace change. They're going towards A, but that's what the Broncos have been waiting for all along. Knowing that there's A pressure, they just speed up towards B and mid, and now the A players are destitute. They're left all on their lonesome, nothing really to play for. Oh, this could be so dangerous, but the C's kind of gives it away. The Haunt as well. Radiohead Enjoyer, great shot back sight, shows his elbow as well. They know he's in the corner, but Master is just going to stay and bide his time. His team's already here, and they get the entry. Now, Master, ooh, I thought he was getting shot from behind there by Henry, but the timing wasn't there. They get to coagulate here on site. No ults means they can pretty much play wherever they want. Don't have to worry about something like the convergent pass knocking them off, as every second now is a valuable one. But they've got to watch out for this play from mid. They're kind of leaving Master alone, but they've got the late flank. I really like this. They just have to play their lives, though. They can't let them die too quick. Master's in so much trouble, but he gets 1. That's so important, and he's still alive, still delivering. 2 finally gets taken down, but the players are through the smoke. The spray from Cause gets everything. 11 rounds now for the Broncos, only 2 away from winning this nail biter.
And that was literally exactly what the Broncos wanted with that opening there. They heard the A noise and immediately knew what to do. Master holding the site, so important. Had he let the Golden Gophers flood in, it would have been an entirely different story. And he's kind of just solo held everything together.
That plays so good. Like, I think if I'm controlling every agent like a chess piece, I'm only sending 1 through that smoke. I'm not sending the double, but that wins them the round. The fact that they send 2 through, and hold on, what? Prestige just 1-tap through the Viper's pit? I mean, this might open up the whole round now, but no one really rotates. It's interesting. Mid-space gained with the util, but Master backed out in the silence, and Prestige, another one, finally traded, but 3v3, the attack can now just pick where they want to go. No
Spike
way!
down, mid.
Some through the smoke. It makes things so difficult, but Kaz right back to his own way. It's all been through mid. Sam pushes 1v1.
player
Zephyr
standing.
versus Kaz, and okay, surely I get a second to breathe here now. Spike gonna come down on B, and I like asking this in these 1v1s. How would you play that? Oh, actually, I might not have time to say that. Zephyr pops the ult. Zephyr swings, half HP, but Kaz is ahead of it. What a play. What confidence to peek that, knowing he can hit it. One more now for the Broncos. 5 straight here.
And that was the weirdest round of Valorant probably ever. 4 people on either side dying through a smoke, and then it's Kaz, the guy who always clutches, versus
Of course.
Zephyr, the guy who always saves.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's practically a script. Couldn't write it up better, and now that's so many ults. They used 3. They bet it all on that round, and now they have nothing in their pockets. But gas station snack money. 5 players through. Radiohead Enjoyer actually lives for a second, but not much longer. Skelesis ends up taking him down through the smoke. He doesn't realize how perfect his crosshair placement was. Oh, and there it goes. Viper's Pit comes down. Master was ready for this. Shorty in hand, and there's 2 players waiting. They even look like they want to take space. It's just so hard to push into this metal as well. So difficult. Master, knowing all he needs to do is hit 1 bullet for them to die. Master, over the top, they're behind him, but he gets the first, clears out the rest, and now everything falling apart for Minnesota. Only 1 player, and Zephyr to do it. Zephyr, 2 kills, still alive towards heaven's skies, but it's Prestige. The closer closes it out. Match MVP, why not Prestige? What a play. 13-9, Boise State wins the game.
And that's another time that Prestige plays and he closes the game out for us.
You got $5 now, Nathaniel.
Oh man, a Lincoln.
You've got 5 whole bucks. Prestige, always the one to do it, unaffected by the pressure. You can just tell, you can see it in his gameplay. What a performance from him. Really held it down.
12 assists while also being top frag.
On defense and offense. I mean, Kaz was the only other player that was positive on the team. I mean, Prestige just stepped up. It seems like he always does it. I mean, just having 6 All-Stars on the team is just such a superpower for the Broncos. But what a game we watched today. Minnesota, I mean, literally last semester when we were talking about Minnesota, that was my narrative was, guys, be careful. Like, they're in the middle of the standings, but they are a dangerous team. They can really punch up. And once again, a crazy close game, about as, well, not literally as close as you can get in a 2-0, but super well played by them. But of course, Broncos take it home and improve to 13-1 as they round into late season form and look for that 1 seed. So, of course, thank you guys all for watching. We've got the player of the match. Don't know who it is, but you'll see in a second. Then after that, we've got an interview. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back with a little bit more. Retreating and regrouping, a wise play now. It's down a player, but they do have better weapons, or at least not the operator. Sammy, good for... Taken over, but the flank is here. Master's here. Actually brings along Master for the ride. Hold on, they've waited long enough now that positions are good, and that's a perfect ult. That ult is literally perfect. Master, the first, the wall cuts him off. Henry's alone on site, has to refract, and whoa, through the now, but Skies has a sledgehammer. Ooh, and another. He gets down some as well. Not dead yet, utilized.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
How's it look so far?
Great.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Times and places all in who you share 'em with. Joy,
I got in.
who you share it with.
This is a great use of your home equity.
Who you share it with.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. About to start the show. Better take your seats. It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room. We're gonna holler.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. I am here with Skelesis for our player interview, as he was our player of the game. And so I guess just getting things started off, how are you feeling just about the team in general?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, this is a big year for us. You know, a couple players retiring, but I feel like we're doing the best we've ever done. So I feel really confident, really happy going throughout the year.
That's always nice. Minnesota, they're lower on like the ranking, and so something that Zach and I were talking about was, even though they're kind of lower there, it seems like they're like a trap game is kind of what we were calling it. Like they're better than what it says, kind of.
Yeah, they were definitely very scrappy for sure. You know, we weren't ready for that. I don't think they were shooting, and I think caught us off guard a lot of maps, or a lot of rounds rather.
Yeah. And on that second map, you guys made a bit of an adaptation after the timeout. So did they. Kind of just what was going through your head as you led the team through the timeout there?
Yeah, so I mean, the first one on defense, I think we were just trying to continue to play our game, and they made a great adaptation to work mid pretty heavy, and I mean, that's kind of what we did on our timeout on attack. You know, we just weren't working mid hard enough, and in our timeout we talked about trying to do that, and that's what we did, and we started winning the rounds.
Yeah, the round count tells you that, so
yeah.
Very well done. And so here is you clutching the game. Kind of what was going through your head here?
You know, I kind of had a lot of info on where they all were. Besides just this guy right behind me, I didn't know where he was, and he shot and missed. And I mean, at that point, I kind of knew I just had the round because I could probably kill the Omen on sight. And once I get that, I mean, I just have all the time in the world to go in.
Yeah, I mean, you looked like kind of cautious just the way you were moving, and then he shot that Guardian behind you, and like something just switched. You just instantly go for the kill and know exactly what to do. And I mean, that's just crazy to me that you instantly know exactly, like, it looks like you knew how the round was going to play out the second that shot was shot.
Yeah, I mean, literally the only piece of info I was missing was that veto, and once I found him, it was just reads.
So is this kind of why you're the IGL, I guess?
I mean, I guess you could say that, honestly. I do like to kind of call the strats and mid-round 3 stuff, and I feel like I'm pretty confident at that. So I guess compared to everyone else, I think I can do it.
Do you just look at the map a lot, or where do you get all this information?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes out throughout the round. I mean, you just hear like where people are, you see where people died, from where, from who, and it just kind of all like accumulates into everything. And I mean, the more you play the game, the easier it gets.
Yeah, well, just very well played here. And also here, these shots from you, I mean, just spraying down and kind of killing everybody. Did you know that you were kind of ahead of them a little bit there?
Yeah, so I mean, we knew they were coming out, and I called for Austin to throw the vines that just stopped them dead in their tracks, and we just kind of mowed them down from there.
Yeah, just, oh my goodness. You make everything seem so simple whenever I'm watching. I don't know. Like, there's so many colors on the screen, and then you're just like, yeah, I just, you know, knew they were there.
It gets a lot sometimes, you know, definitely get overwhelmed, and not too much to... You know, sometimes it gets easy, but definitely, I'd say most of the time it's pretty hard.
Well, I think that was a very exciting game. Do you have anything you want to shout out afterwards?
Yeah, Mom, Dad, they always watch. Love them. Sisters, too. And my granddad. Love them.
Well, that's very awesome. Thank you very much for your answers and insights into the game.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. That'll be all.